Boy, got so much stuff here to unmute. Wow. Welcome aboard. All right, welcome. We are flying with Mike. We are in Tavis Air Force Base, California. Pretty large Air Force Base, a big cargo place, C5s, C-17s. The Google still shows the KC-10s here. Wouldn't be surprised if the KC-46s aren't out there on the ramp instead. But I don't know. I don't live there. But today we're flying to Nellis. That's right. We're headed to Vegas. So once we get there, whatever you see, no word of it. That's right. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Always keep that in mind. So I hope you all enjoy. It's Palm Sunday for those of us with Jesus, his last walk into Jerusalem, so to speak, heading to the cross by the end of the week to pay for our sins. Man, what a sacrifice. But also gives you a chance to make a choice. Do you want to be with the Lord, your Savior, or with the gods of your choosing? Your choice, folks. That's what it's all about. But my family will choose the Lord Jesus. All right, so World Air Cargo sits on the ramp. You know, the one funny thing about these MD-11s, World Air Cargo is all we can find. We can't find the actual World Aircraft Airlines. Hey, Pratt, welcome in. That's been kind of funny for me. I keep looking for them and they're still not there, even though the passenger version released, what, about 6, 7, 8 months ago? Maybe I'm exaggerating, but yeah, it's not been that long, I know, but this is not, to me at least, if I knew how to do them, it doesn't look very difficult. So, just curious why we can't get a World Air Airlines. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that, but anyway, I saw these a lot at the airport I worked at, and not the cargo version, the passenger, and just kind of interesting. We don't find the passenger version. Anyway, so that's the game plan today. That's all we're going to have time for today. It's a special day for one of our grandkids. So once wheels hit the ground, we shut it down. We'll be done probably for the week. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, I can find some energy and maybe do another stream during the week. So, all right, so let's crawl into cockpit. You're going to find this plane, I've got it pretty close, ready to go. We're sitting on the line, most likely. Here, let me pop back out where you would find the cargo aircraft here, all the way to the west end of the airport. And then you've got the long taxi to 21 right, which seems to flip coins being open and closed. We're going with the it's open today. If you look at Google, you know, one time you'll look at Google, there's no X's on it. Another time there are X's on it. Who knows what's going on? Oh, as I get that last shot of coffee in before we do the startup here. However, before we get going, let's talk about the Rotate MD-11. A really good aircraft, both passenger and freighter. And they've set it up so you can buy it either as the passenger or either as the freighter. But if you want both, it's a discounted price for the other. Does that make sense? I hope so. Makes sense in my little pea brain, but yeah, that's about sometimes as far as it can go. So, all right, now things to know about with this plane. Real quick, and we'll do a quick pre-brief here. Devon, Mo, it has been a long time indeed, sir. Just want to say good morning. Have a blessed Sunday. You too, Devon Mo. It has been a while since we've chatted. Glad to have you check in or grab a seat. We got 24 passengers coming aboard. We'd love to have you as one of them. So it's up to you. But hey, thanks for checking in with us. All right, so we're on the EFB. It'll come turned off if you go cold and dark. All you got to do is push the button there. All right, and then from here, I go with parked with external power. I know many of you are like, oh, I can't believe you don't do cold and dark. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, folks. If it just means turning a stupid battery switch on, guess what? Just get me external power and halfway there to starting. Hawker 125. I had a feeling you'd see those 4 letters and come running to the stream. Welcome aboard. Oh. Oh, hang on. I just saw something here from Devon. Your GPU died. Oh, man. Yeah, yep. I've been there. I know that. Oh, Devon. Oh, sorry to hear all of that. Hope for the best. Hawker is out there hyping it up. Holy mackerel. I think he hit every emote available. But welcome in, Hawker and company. All right, so I start parked with external power. You can do with as you please over here because everyone has their own. Ground ops, I just come over, get the cargo forward center aft open, leave the main one closed. I'll show you why. Cockpit door open and stair set, click request. All right, and that will set you up to start. Then on weight and balance, whatever you set up, just, fill it out. In our case, as you're about to see, these are the numbers coming your way to a point. And I have yet to, I always have troubles with this aircraft in that I can't get weights to match up, and I don't know why. All right, so I've got some Toolkit pulled in here. All right, here's our payload, 123, 120. There's our 24 people. Got 3 aboard right now. Pratt, Hawker, and Devon, welcome in. We plan to make this a fun flight over Area 51. Cargo, 118,920 pounds. And we're going to fly to cost index of 90. I'm hoping to get to 37,000. Think we can. And there's the route. Lynn, Beatty, Fuzzy into Nellis. Okay, weather here, beautiful. 50 degrees outside, winds out of the west, 270 at 3. So just beautiful takeoff out in the high desert. Looking for a north wind at 3. That might change. No, I doubt it. 10-mile visibility clear and whopping almost 72 degrees already in Vegas. So beautiful day ahead. Let's get this bird going, shall we? Now there is one thing to be concerned or, oh, we have not done that yet. Oh. Okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't. We need our takeoff CG to be between 30 and 31% MAC. Takeoff CG is right here. So we just need to take the slider over a little. I'm going to take it to 30.5. Now, this also applies if you fly the passenger version. I saw a KC-46 and a C-130 over in ORF. Ooh. The MD-11 tanker. I actually do not believe the MD-11 Hawker would be my go-to on this, as he loves this plane. I don't believe they made a tanker version of it. What I do think you're thinking of is the DC-10. There's a DC, what they call it in Europe. I think just DC-10 tanker. And the Air Force had the KC-10. So, which I believe is fully retired. Don't quote me on that. Definitely not up on the military stuff going on. But I know there was a name attached to the DC-10s. Omega has a DC-10 tanker as well. Not a KC-10, just a DC-10. Difference being KC-10 has the boom that comes down for many of our aircraft in the U.S. The DC-10 tankers are, what do we got here? Yeah, MD-11 never made it into the tanker rolls. And Hawker has been on the Omega. And the Omega just had the drogues that came out for many of the Navy fighters and European fighters. So just to kind of square that up. So, but the big thing here with the DC or with the MD-11 from Rotate is this set your center of gravity to 30 to 31%, be it freighter, be it passenger. Warning about the passenger, you will never, ever get it above 30.5 on your Mac. It'll be right up on the line and about to go yellow or red. Okay, so beyond that, it's not bad. Oh, one other thing I recommend, it, you know, this is again your call as the pilot. Click this. Now I'm going to do it again just to adjust the Mac. But why click this? When you go through, set up your FMC, the numbers are already there, and it saves you about 30 seconds of click, 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 click to get them in. And that's all you're doing is just clicking line select keys. Here, they're put in for you. You're ready to go. Kind of show it to you here in a second. Okay, now we're going to go to ground ops again. We're going to hit fuel service and load the plane. Plane's already loaded weight-wise, but they got some cheesy graphics. And by cheesy, I think they are actually loading some cheese because it disappears with the mice real quick. So, and when I worked at the airport, we did have a lot of cargo operations other than the side rails up that close to the plane while they opened the door. Pretty good. I mean, they did a good job. There is one downside to this. If you're going to go this far, let's load all the cans. 2, you want to learn how to use the ULDs. Well, you're not going to on this plane. It's just a straight payload, weight, go. And if there is a way to do the ULDs, I would sure love to know it. You're going to see 4 cans go in. You'll see them shoved down, but when that door closes and the loader and tractor goes away, guess what? D-Phone Mo, subscribing, coming in hot. Thank you. Oh, gifted from Hawker. Thank you, Hawker. We sure appreciate that. The only thing that I love the cheesy graphics. It just disappears when everything outside disappears. But the weights remain, so that part's good. We'll show it off here in a second. Hey, you know what? Let's do it right now. Let's swing around so you can watch it come into the bay. You wouldn't be able to do this on the plane. Now, the fun thing about this at the airports was this is not like the ones under the plane where they'll move automatically when they come through the baggage stores on the first officer side. Yeah, those ULDs will move. In this aircraft, for sure, I can't speak for the rest. They're not, the rollers won't move them. It's manpower that moves them. Okay, they're about to go poof. There they went. Where'd all our cargo go? What? Yeah, that's, like I said, the downside. Oh, well. But, you know, hey, it is kind of neat to watch, you know, and see what's going on. All right, so everything's away from the plane. We've pretty well talked it to death. The routing, real quick, I want to show that. Okay, we'll come back to that. I want, let me think, init. Okay, clear. All right, now when you go to page 2, by the way, it looks a lot like Airbus, doesn't it? Yeah, it's the Airbus 11. You see where Taxi 2.0 is in kind of like a bold, same with blocks, same with zero fuel weight, CGs and all of that. That's what happens when you click over here on weight and balance, load and apply. Those get filled in. Now, if you don't and you want to do it yourself and you don't do that, you got to click right next to them. It'll fill in. Like I said, 30 seconds is all you're saving. But hey, it keeps you from missing one. Like this one could get missed because it's in an odd spot. But you would see boxes, open boxes. All right, let's go back to... Now, the only difference between an Airbus McDo and McDonnell Douglas is we don't go to the perf page to get our takeoff data. We go to takeoff approach. And again, it's just clicking and entering as we go. SimBrief does have takeoff numbers for us, so I highly recommend using that feature. All right, so with all of that done already for us, how about that? Man, that is just awesome. I did that all before we got started here. We're ready to go. So hopefully you packed the lunch. We're ready to go. It's an hour flight over. I have enjoyed SimBrief adding in more and more takeoff data. Yes, they are. And it really, really does help us. Some of the aircraft actually come with takeoff and landing information. Some we have to rely. And some we still got to kind of, oh, does that sound good? How about that number? And how about, you know, we still got to do that on some of them. So, but anyway, we're ready to go. So for now, we're ready to do the engine start check here. Parking brake. Hang on. Let me see what's still lit up here. Oh, we still got doors open. All right, we're closing up the cargo doors. Okay, they're done. And they'll say open, and you know, you see how it is. We'll close the main door. Now, before you just go up here and hit dismiss on the ground power, I highly recommend you actually disconnect it at the panel first in the plane. Because if you don't, you run the risk of having to reload your FMC. This plane and flight factor are big ones that could happen. Devon saying flex temps in the 737 and Airbus have been helpful back when I was flying in and out of small airports. It's always helpful to have those flex temperatures. So, yeah, they are godsends. All right, I am going to go to the map, and I think go to about 9. Let's be generous. Bring it up to 10. Okay, that'll work. I'm not going to put the route into it this time just because we had, it doesn't usually line up with what I'm doing. All right, parking brake set, seatbelts coming on for those of you traveling with us. Emergency lights armed, beacon on, and fuel pumps are ready to go. APU bleed and power still on. And we are in engine. And there's no pushback needed here. So we'll head over here to ground ops and get rid of the stairs and the chocks. And here we go. Crank it up time. All right, we are going to do it a little different today. We're going to start number 1. Oh, no, we can't. I got to push a button. Hang on. We'll go A this time. We're turning the ignition system A on now. When I click down here, it will begin. Choose your way of starting. I usually would start number 3. I thought, what the heck, let's do something a little different. We'll go with number 1. And we're just waiting for them to spool up. And then we'll do the same throughout. Okay. Okay, number 3. And then we'll get that big one behind us. And as of everything I've heard, the MD-11s, I don't think any of them have been cleared to return to flight yet. FedEx is still proponing, I think, April, maybe May timeframe, maybe a little later. UPS has retired theirs. Western Global, which really got slammed by this because that's all they had. I'm not sure if they're even going to come back. So, there's not many more out there. I think, I'm not even sure Lufthansa cargo flies them anymore because they were more 777s last I checked. So there's not many left. So But FedEx still says they're going to bring them back into service when they're cleared. And in the air cargo world, the big news last week, I believe it was, of Atlas. If you're not familiar, they're one of the largest, not maybe the largest, but they're pretty close to it in cargo, air cargo. They have confirmed they're going to be buying A350 cargo planes, 20 of them. So, and I have not heard if the 787 is going to be cleared for cargo. All right, we've got them started. We don't have to do anything else from here. It's pretty much automated like the Airbus aircraft. Okay, windshield defog on, anti-ice not needed. APU. Hey, yo. Now we'll, oh, you know what? Can't do anything until we do that. There we go. Now we'll see if she spools down. Got to turn the bleed off, you know. Hydraulic pumps are good. Okay, down here to, oops, down here to config. And we're running a trim today, 4.8. Look at the stabe there, upper left. We're just setting it to 4.8. Okay, everything else looks good. While we're here, let's do flight controls. Okay, and everything's looking good. Just getting that rudder real quick. And then I do what's called a freedom of movement in my cockpit to make sure the stick won't hit the cup of coffee, the cell phone in front watching for chat, and so forth. The 787 I'm seeing would be cool, but would be weakened in the structural integrity. Slapping doors into the carbon. Well, see, now, as I understand, Devo, and I could be wrong, Devon, that the A350 is much the same type of construction as the A3 or 787. That's my understanding of it. Could be a very wrong one, but that's what I was led to believe. But the A350 is a cargo plane, and in a couple of years, Atlas is supposed to be bringing them aboard. What that means for the 747, I hope it doesn't mean goodbyes to them. Okay, stape trim set, spoilers set, and we're going to do that again. Airbus-like, pull it up, take off, and we're ready to go. Flaps. 15. Yes, we'll talk real quick about it. Yeah, it's called dial a flap, dial a flap. And it kind of makes you think like it's a telemarketing system. Dial a flap, call dial a flap, 1-800-dial-a-flap. And that's how you get your flap setting. No, what you do is you'll dial it in here between 12, I think it is, and 28. And that's your intermediate flap setting. So you'll go slats and then out to 15 degrees, not that 5 degrees or 10 degrees some of the aircraft do, 5, 10, 15, 20, you know, like the Schoolhouse Rock song. So, and again, confirm our takeoff data. We're ready to go. Let's switch over to common traffic, which I believe is 127.50. We can confirm that. CTAF KSUU. Hey, I got it right. Hey, got our squawk code in. We're set, ready to go. Tavis Air Force Base, common traffic. World Airways, 18 heavy, taxi to 21 right for takeoff. Oh, what's Devon saying? I think polymer and plastic is... probably is. But yeah, like I said, I think the two are very similar in construction. But I could be totally wrong. Maybe Airbus still uses steel, or aluminum versus the carbon fibers. But I don't know. Their aircraft, I really have not followed these newer generation aircraft. So I know people out there that do, and I'm just not one of them. All right, taxi light on. Now there is, believe it or not, an Atlas 747 inbound. I don't know if we'll get out before him or not. We will find out. We're not going to run with the radar today. It's supposed to be pretty good weather between here and there. But World Airways, if you're not familiar with it, very popular military charter airline. Before they all seemed to just kind of disappear. ATA, North American, World Airways, all seemed to collapse in 2008. How am I doing it under an hour? Magic. Simple magic. Meant to confuse you there, Hawker. Looks like I succeeded. No, I got the plane pretty much ready to go before it went live. Now we got a special day, like I said, one of our granddaughter's birthdays, celebrations. And so we had the plane ready to go. It's a pretty short flight to start with. So on the left side, so he'll actually it only took me about 15-20 minutes to get it going. Oh, narrow taxiways, boy. X-Plane guys, there's more to this taxiway than just the asphalt. There's actually concrete around it. That's okay. Hey, at least, you know, when you go back and look at flight sim history, many of the military and GA airports had zip. You were lucky to have runways. So just the fact we have this is being super fast. But no. So I'm not going to complain too much, but yeah, there's actually concrete around this. This actually was a B-52 base back in the 60s before, and cargo. So I believe the Christmas tree is further down from the cargo area. All right, he's coming in on the left. I'm going out on the right. Yeah, even the parking here is not right, but semantics, you know, is all what it's about. James Tolkien passed away. We'll make sure here before we take the runway. Yeah, Hawker, sorry, I'm gonna have to look him up. The name doesn't ring a bell to me. Where's Giant at? Alright, he is definitely lined up on the other runway. And Travis, common traffic, World 18 Heavy, departing 2-1 right. Okay, quick check of the auto flight. Okay, here's the neat things about this automated plane. We'll click auto flight, we'll click prof, which puts us in takeoff, and we're ready to go. Spoilers up, auto brakes armed, and cabin transponder will turn on here on the runway. Was in Top Gun. Oh, is that oh, what's his name? Oh, I can't think of him. And the commander in Top Gun and the school principal. Gotcha now. Okay, on track with you. Be right back. All right, sir. We'll be on our way at that point. Here we go. Okay, there's V1. Rotate. Gears coming up. And Travis, area traffic, World Airways 18 out of the area. Have a great day. All right, we are climbing out. Okay, flaps are up. Let's go through the ritual here. Okay, everything looks good. There we go.
Stabilizer motion.
All right, we're on our way to Nellis. Hope y'all enjoy. Let's get on the right frequency now. But we are indeed flying for Simulated Air Force. We're flying what's called a CRAF, Civil Reserve Air Fleet mission. Sometimes the military will contract out to commercial airlines, trucks, buses, and such to help out moving people and cargo when times are needed. And today we're just flying a simple one down to Nellis. Sorry about that. We're just moving 123,000 or so pounds of cargo. I'll be honest, I don't think I ever saw World Airways cargo at the airport, but I could be wrong. We had a lot of different carriers with MD-11s from Tampa Cargo to Centurion, and I'm trying to think of the others. We had a lot. And so the Civil Reserve Fleet steps in to help at times. For instance, like we're living now, in moving stuff both in country and from country to theater. So I watched, oh my gosh, when we built up after 9/11, we had two 747-400s, two 777s on our ramps loading troops. A day or two later, an A330-300, 767s. We've even saw 757-300s in the mix. That's a weird plane. You thought the 757 was a long tube. Wow, the 757-300. Oh my gosh. We had some DC-8s pop through. One got quarantined by customs there. So a lot of fun things while I was there. And we saw some 747-200s and 727s, but the 727s didn't go to theater. They just stayed in the area. So that gives you an idea that, and today 737s and Airbuses, 320s, 1921s, I mean, whatever you see the airlines flying is a potential that the Civil Reserve Fleet will use. And that's what we're flying here. Just moving cargo into Nellis. Red flag days are coming. That's a big exercise out of Nellis, where fighter pilots and bomber pilots, cargo guys go in, and we play war in the Nevada test range. They actually drop real ordnance, so they get the feel of what it's like for the airplane to lighten up when it drops 90% of its weight out the cargo bays. Fighter, in their quest for the kills, they do send drones up, and they go against drones and actually shoot the drones down, but then they go up against a similar aircraft in their simulated combats, and it really is one heck of a show there. And it's made to be as real as possible without shooting the good guys down. So that's what we're doing today, bringing some of that cargo in. And the cool thing about streaming, especially on this channel, are the people we have following and subscribed here. The backgrounds that they have and the things I learned from them is amazing. Plus, in and around where I live here, a lot of stuff. So. All right, so we are on our way. They're saying 34 minutes out. You'd be shocked what I can learn from you. I've got some questions for you, but we'll keep them till another time. Some things I learned today. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I do have a little shindig for one of my granddaughters, I probably should be there for fully. But yeah, we will talk, because I got a question about some things I've learned over compliments of the LaGuardia disaster of last weekend. All right, we are in cruise. We made 37,000 just after Lindell VOR. Let's do a quick check here if we got anything. No cruise checklist. Okay. Now, the checklist I'm using, you all have it if you have the MD-11. It's in your MD-11 manuals, I think it is, folder, along with the tutorial. I would, if you just bought this plane, I don't care if it's the passenger or the freighter, would fly the tutorial a couple of times. Per the tutorial, all the numbers and all the same. Then, once you're comfortable with that route and those things, change the numbers up and do it again. Then, once you get comfortable with different numbers, for weights and fuels and all, set up your own route and go from there. And that's how I learned this plane. Although once I sat in it and looked at the cockpit, looked right here is the brains, if you will, of the aircraft. I went, this is an Airbus. And as soon as my mind clicked, boom, everything began to fall into pieces. The only tough part about this plane to me is the landing part, because there is a little challenge to it. That just takes time and practice. Well, here, take a look at that. You guys that fly Airbuses could easily go, oh my gosh, pretty similar. Not 100% to your Airbus 319 2021s, but you can kind of get a flow even in the panel how it works, where things are. There are some oddballs in there, but overall it's not that far off. Well, it's a guaranteed you're gonna do it either nicely or pretty crappy. But you're gonna get the plane on the ground whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not. Remember that phrase back in the 9/11 days when pilots were not wanting to learn how to land. Even the Navy. Now here's one for you. When you think about it, the Navy guys flying off carriers coming back, guess what? They have to land somehow. There is no alternate to them. The closest alternate may be 3,000 or 4,000 miles away. So you're gonna have to learn how to land on a carrier one way or another, either by parachute or by actually landing on the carrier. Kind of like how a mother bird kicks the little bird out and teach them how to fly. Yep. Well, that little bird's going to have to learn how to land too. But I've heard that's where a lot of pilots had troubles. And that's why the airlines pretty much canned this aircraft pretty quick. But the cargo carriers snatched them up at literally Kmart Blue Light special prices. Some even called it a fire sale at how cheap these aircraft were, because the airlines just bolted from them. Not 100% sure what went wrong, but they did not like these planes. And the crews had troubles with them. It was just not a well-liked aircraft. And the cargo carriers must have either worked with Boeing or figured out the quirks to get them to land better. Unfortunately, they didn't learn the one really bad quirk until UPS did. And the sad thing is that it happened with the DC-10 variant for American back in Chicago in the 70s. So anyway, we're about 150 miles from top of descent, and everything's looking good. I just want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today. We should be on the ground here probably in the next, and finished within the next 30-45 minutes. So by then, people will start arriving for that special day for one of our grandkids. Two of our grandkids in the next week celebrating birthdays. So. And again, in case I haven't mentioned it, we are in X-Plane 4.0, not in the 4.1 betas, because I am really truly waiting for them to basically say, well, the only way I'll know now is to actually load it again and see if I go without a crash to desktop. A lot of crash to desktops because of plugins. And I actually rolled back because I am just tired of them. And I know what they're trying to do. I just wish they could find a less painful way. Hawker, you think you might have the beta? Like I said, I'm thinking about it, but when I loaded a week or two ago, I was ready to try to put a flight in, and I just got real tired of pulling my hair out trying to figure it out. So I actually did something I never did, and I don't ever want to do it again, roll back and to the latest release client out there. Now, the release client that's out there now is also a beta. So when you fire up your flight sim, it's not going to update you. When they actually do the official release client for beta or for 4.1, then the sim will automatically update. Now, to do the betas, if you want to go through and see if you have bum plugins, open your installer and make sure the checkbox for beta is checked. To roll back, just remove the checkbox. You manually do it? Oh, I don't know how to do that. Don't want to. I just run the installer and put the beta in that way. All right, let's see how close we are now. 120 miles. Actually, all right. Okay, once we get past Beatty here, top of descent won't be much longer, and I might actually start it early. All right. Trying to think. We don't have any arrivals per se for Nellis. All right, for those curious, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up right now while we got a couple of minutes here to top of descent. Here's charts. All right, here's the frequencies for Nellis. Across the top here on the briefing strip, we'll set 132.55 for our CTAF. For those flying aircraft where it doesn't automatically set, 109.1 is the a localizer frequency. Glide slope is just tied to it. Final approach 209 at ROTC. I'm trying to see where that is. Okay, 7 miles out. 4,200 MSL. We're in the high desert here, folks. 2,300 feet above the ground will be that one. Decision altitude 2065, which is 200 feet above the ground. So you can see we're highly elevated here. Not highly, but we're up there a little bit. Missed approach to 15,000 feet. Tack in the rock. Right turn, intercept, Arcoa, and hide. And hide, basically, in a hold. Let's see, minimums. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Not really. The big thing to worry about, of course, is the high altitude, the mountains to the north and west. What I'm thinking of doing, since it's visual, I may just do this visual and fly over the airport, make a wide downwind to come in on a extended base. So what I'm saying here is kind of like come in straight on the airport, fly out, and work my way back in at sheet and come in on the ILS. Otherwise, we're going to go straight over this stuff, and yeah. Okay, here's the altitudes if we go out to Cirrus, 8,800 feet down to 42. And our minimums. Visual, we got to have at least a half mile RVR 24 and at least 200 feet on the METARs for a ceiling. Anything lower than those numbers, guess what? We go to Ontario. That would suck. ALSIF 1 for the approach lights. Pappy's on the, should be on the left side. Big pot, yes. Welcome, Big Ot, yes. Welcome aboard. How is it going? I just saw you. What should I get here? What? What the heck? Interesting. All right, top of descents on the nav display. Let's get ready to bring it down. Took a look at it there, Hawker. I'm not certain it's a plane, but I don't know how you do textures without a plane. So but that's an interesting find you have there. Did I see the painting you sent me? Did you just send it to me, or was that, hang on, I'm going over there. Oh, I see something came in. Ooh, Piedmont. I just did. Very good there, Devon. Sorry about that. Didn't see that pop up real quick. All right, I'm going to go ahead, start down. We'll head to, bear with me here. What's my minimum safe? 11. Yeah, we'll bring it down to 11,000. Well, thank you, Devon. Appreciate you around. Should be on the ground here, by the way, folks, in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Well, we definitely found a cloud here. Wow, pretty tense. All right, we're looking at winds still out of the north at 3. That was as of 9:55 Zulu. That's quite old. Clear skies. Let's see if that's changed on charts. 7 hours old. Guess them airfield ops and tower guys just aren't up to updating. So let's just do the next best thing, KLAS. You know what? It helps to throw the word METAR. All right, we're looking at calm winds, 10-mile visibility, a few at 16,000. And broken at 20,000. Well, we're about to break out, so now let's see how this looks kind of weird. Ooh, look at that. $2,998. Kind of eerie out this side, isn't it? Ooh. Dreamland out there. All right, and you can see the high terrain we got to cross to get over to Nellis, so we'll kind of keep our forward movement here towards Fuzzy. Now, technically, it's got me going on a run to Kiris. I am, like I said, going to aim for the airport instead, overfly, and then come in on an extended upwind and downwind. All right, we're going to go ahead and start slowing the beastie down here. Actually, I'm going to switch maps here. Yeah, I want to get over those safely, so I don't know why it didn't show a lower altitude here, or a higher, why it showed so low. But that's 12,300 supposedly over there. I'm not going to challenge it. Sorry, folks, just not going to. All right, at fuzzy. All right, we are getting close. We're in the approach pattern, kind of, sort of, for Nellis. Crossing the Spring Mountains, according to the sectional I'm looking at. All right. Okay. Well, this actually timed out pretty perfect. There, here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and come on down to 10,000 now. believe our airport's right there. All right, sorry about that. All right, we're descending gently down to 10,000. Let's go ahead. Let me get our bearings here. All right, we're overflying at 8,000. And I'm going to go ahead and start us down to Nellis area traffic, World 18 heavy, turning left downwind for runway 21 left. And Nellis traffic, World 18 heavy, extended left base 421 left. All right, we are close and about ready to turn inbound. All right, here comes, we're on the ILS. Got the runway in sight. We are about 11 miles out. Let's go flaps full. Here comes the glide slope. And Nellis, common traffic, world 18, approximately 6 mile final, 21 left. Okay, lights, gear for green, brakes set, spoiler set, cleared to land. And Nellis traffic, world 18, 2 mile final, runway 21, left, full stop. Landing.
Sync rate, sync rate, sync, sync, sync. 30, 20, 10.
All right, there you have it. We're into Nellis. Hope you all enjoyed that short run. We just got to basically run the runway out. Nellis, traffic world 18 off, 21 left to the ramp. Ah, beautiful day in Vegas as we do our little bit of a taxi. Get the APU firing up here momentarily. All right. Ooh, wow, do we have a taxi? Holy mackerel. Oh well. Off we go. So again, hope you all enjoyed. Got a little bit of an early jump on getting the aircraft out. To many's shock, and I love when that happens. Let's see, would we fit in here? And if Devon was still here, he'd get to see the KC-10s as we taxi by. We're getting into Thunderbird Nation here. If you've ever seen the Thunderbirds, we're near their hangar, although not modeled here. That'd be pretty cool. I think this is their hangar and parking area. The Aggressor Squadron, I think that Notorious comes out of here, and Tonopah, as well as Creech. All right, we are in the blocks. All right, let's head over here. Oh, wait a minute. Let's first get the APU bleed on. APU is available. All right, we are in the blocks. Welcome to Nellis. It was a fun flight. We'll put the chocks in real quick. And yeah, up ahead, that's where all the helicopters park for here. So it's kind of fun to always taxi on a military post because you always see F4s. Something not normally seen. All right, again, welcome to Nellis. Okay, I saw we did something like 400 feet a minute on the landing. First things first. Let me make sure we submitted to, and we did, and accepted. Good deal, goodbye. Okay, so we're off the ACAR system, and according to Elevatech, let me bring that in since we didn't do that one yesterday. Elevatech, there we go. Let's see, 292 feet, 165 knots, a little fast. For some reason, I could not get the, get her to slow down. I wonder if it was still under, auto throttle. 1.8 Gs, okay, a little rough. Let's see where we actually hit the runway. I'm gonna call it a 1,000, about 1,700 feet down the runway. Sim Toolkit will confirm or deny. But yeah, there's the route right there, folks. All right. Elevatech out, Sim Toolkit in. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, Sim Toolkit 436. Let's complete it. Oh, we have to work on this one. Okay. Okay, an hour and 19 minutes in the air, 350 miles, 1.3 Gs. Again, man, really curious. My speed was really up or not on it. Okay, we landed 1,850 feet down the runway, 1,000 feet. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, it wanted us over on the right side. Yeah, no. But according to this, pretty close to the center line. So, hey, we'll take it. Numbers all look good except for that speed. Should have been about 10 knots slower. So other than that, it looks really good. We had a fun time. I hope you all enjoyed. I have a party to get to, so you all enjoy. We'll catch you on the next Flying with Mike. Worst case scenario, it'll be Saturday morning. Best case scenario, sometime during the week. So enjoy. I've loved having you aboard, Devon, Mo, Hawker. Thanks for the gift sub. And Pratt PT6 came aboard as well. So glad to have y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll catch you on the next flight. God bless. Have a great Palm Sunday. And we'll see you as we go into Holy Week.